Rangers taking a leaf out of Crystal Palace's How to Rattle Liverpool dossier, with Roy Wegley putting the visitors one up. Over at Villa Park, Norwich were intent on an end-of-season flourish, only one defeat in their previous 5 away games. Raw Fox there with an unstoppable shot. Back to Anfield, where Liverpool was slipping into gear. Man of the match, Steve Nicol, foraging, cunning, setting up rush. Half a chance, halfway there. Into the second half at Villa, no doubt Graham Taylor exercised his vocal cords during the interval. Paul McGrath levelling. They were right on cue at Anfield. Almost simultaneously, Nicol took charge again. Maddox took his legs. Guess what?
But here goes the newly crowned Footballer of the Year, John Barnes. 2-1. That might mean the championship.
Well, what Martin Tyler didn't know at the time was that Aston Villa were hitting straight back. 2 minutes after Paul McGrath's first for the club, Tony Cascarino got off the mark. Villa were tuning up. 22 minutes left, the 0-1-2. Cowan's using a slide rule to put Platt in position for one of those delightful sidesteps. At Anfield, they were tuning in. All Kenny could do was sit and wait. Liverpool hanging on, possibly thinking of Derby on Tuesday. Villa were cruising, and then all of a sudden someone pressed the self-destruct switch. Own goal, Derek Mountfield. With minutes remaining, a long ball by Sherwood hit in hope and into the heart of Villa's 3-man back four, found only one of them remotely close to Robert Rosario. Three-all was the message that got through to Anfield, but the celebrations were slightly premature and would have been somewhat embarrassing had Tony Cascarino found a way past Norwich's standing keeper, Mark Walton. They were well into injury time at Villa Park. But by the time Liverpool had done a lap of honour and retreated to the dressing room, celebration time was well and truly underway, and well and truly deserved.
Don't forget the sportsman, Ronnie Whelan. Well, obviously we lost in front of the home supporters last year, and what a tremendous boost that is for them.
Does that make up for the disappointment of last year?
Yes, of course,
This could mean the European Cup for you. What would that mean to Liverpool?
Well, that'll be a bonus for us. All we're worried about now is celebrating. It's been a long, hard season again. We missed out on the FA Cup, so I think it's all worthwhile in the end.
It's been said that this Liverpool side maybe not as good as championship sides of the past. What do you make of that?
Well, we're champions. That's what I can make of that, and I think it doesn't say much for the other teams in the First Division.
You were given the captain's armband when Alan Hansen came off. I could see you smile from the stand.
Well, unbelievable. I think I'm the proudest man in the pitch today, I think. Incredible. Apart from me being the only Scouser playing on the Liverpool team, I just can't believe it, really.
Steve, thanks for joining us.
Thank
Congratulations.
You. Brilliant.
OK, Norwich have done it a turn, drawn 3 each, but they've done themselves a greater turn throughout the whole season. They've done it deservedly so, and they've done it because they've been the best and they are the best.
This could mean the European Cup for you. What would that mean personally?
Well, first of all, we're going to enjoy this. We'll worry about administration problems are going to arise later on. We've got there on merit. If there's an English club going in, hopefully it'll be us. If not, we'll just need to win it again next year.
Were you aware of the other scores going on during the game?
Well, when our game finished, somebody told us the other game it was time up there as well, but obviously it wasn't. We came back in, there was still a couple of minutes left.
Did you know Aston Villa were 3-1 up at one stage?
No, I never. Somebody said I think they were 1-0 down at half-time.
Does this get rid of the disappointment from Arsenal last year?
You go for a disappointment quickly enough. Obviously, last year you can never raise it from the record books, but they got so close last year to winning the double for the second time in almost 3 or 4 years. And they've done it again this year, and the consistency is undisputed. The performances throughout the whole season have been as good as anybody else's and better than most. That's why they've won it. And as a team and as a squad of players, you find the difficulty better.
Kenny, many congratulations. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Merseyside believes that the league title has returned to its true resting place after a year on loan to Arsenal. Liverpool champions again for the 8th time in 12 seasons. And Alan Hansen, a key figure in all those successes, received the trophy from Owen Rout, director of Barclays Bank. The last 20 seasons have yielded 31 trophies for Liverpool, the latest the climax to an emotional 12 months. Hillsborough, the lowest point in the club's history, as Liverpool mourned a terrible tragedy.
Well, Hillsborough, rightly so, will be part of this club's history now. it's nothing that you can dismiss, and it's something that you wouldn't want to dismiss. But there's people suffered a far greater loss than what we did, and obviously suffered far greater mental and physical problems than what we have. We were here to help at the time, and we're still here to help. And if we can do anything to help, we'll try our best to do that. But as I say, it's something that you wouldn't want to go away, and it's something that never will.
Liverpool recovered magnificently from Hillsborough, bringing home the FA Cup after a thrilling extra-time victory over their greatest rivals, Everton. But their hopes of a second double in 4 seasons were ruined 6 days later by Michael Thomas's late goal for Arsenal at Anfield.
Thomas charging through the midfield. Thomas, it's up for grabs now. Thomas, right at the end.
Did you ever have any doubts this season that you would retain, or rather regain, the league championship from Arsenal?
Well, I think the lads should be applauded for the way they picked themselves up after losing last year to Arsenal. Then obviously later on in the season we lost to Villa, at Villa against Crystal Palace, and they immediately went to Charlton and won 4-0. I think because of the character and obviously their ability, they got themselves in a position where they won it really in the end quite comfortably. I think we've used a lot of players. I think we've used about 20 players. That's obviously excluding myself. And it just shows that injuries, although they're part and parcel of football, can stretch you to the limit, and we were stretched to the limit. Every single player that played made a contribution. If they hadn't, they wouldn't have won it. But it's the lads really that deserve to get the credit. We only steer them in the right direction, and their character and ability got them through at the end of the day.
Now, you've won so many things as a player and a manager. I wonder if it still gives you as much satisfaction to win something like this again.
Well, the most important thing is the last one, isn't it? And the most recent one. And I think you can tell by the reaction of everybody here that they enjoy winning.
Well, Kenny Dalglish certainly does. As a manager, it's his 3rd league championship in 5 seasons. And last night, he turned back the clock to become a player again, appearing as a late substitute against Derby.
Everyone wants to play, don't they? And everyone wants to share on the occasion. And the best way for me to say thank you to them is, I thought maybe to put the jersey on it and run out and play.
Do you enjoy
maybe
it?
In hindsight, well, maybe in hindsight they would think that was the wrong thing to do. But I enjoyed it. As I said, playing's the best part of football. And the people that stand in the clock were doing something that I'd love to have done, and I couldn't do it. So I did something probably they'd love to do as well.
You obviously, and understandably, have this image of always praising the players and playing down, if you like, the achievements here, or putting them into perspective. But you must get a lot of personal joy out of seasons like this one.
Biggest satisfaction out of winning everything, or anything. At the end of the day, this is a substitute for what we did years ago when we were playing. As I said earlier, playing's the best part of football. This is certainly the bit that I enjoyed most of all. But if you're going to be successful and you can't play, this is the best place to be.
Normally, this would have been obviously an entry into Europe. I saw you quoted in the newspapers as saying that it doesn't bother you particularly that Liverpool may not be able to get into the European Cup. Is that true?
Well, there's nothing we can do about it, is it? The most important thing is we won the Football League. If administration problems keep us out of Europe, well, so be it. There's nothing we can do. We can't control the fans' behaviour when they go to the World Championships. If that's going to be the deciding factor. I think the thing is that we've got to do our bit in the football pitch. And I think if tonight's match is taken as an example, when there was hardly anyone, if anyone, on the pitch, for me to have a lap of honour, I think obviously we've made tremendous strides in improvement.
Great season for you. Is that a summer off now? A bit of golf?
I'll have a bit of golf, I'll have some of that.
And no doubt glued to the television when Scotland are in action in Italy?
I'll watch it telly, aye. But not if I can play golf.